mad at him either or jealous. He's just a good guy. So today, 4 best of 3s once again. Later this afternoon, we're going to have the lower bracket, for which you'll be joined by Paul again. We're going to have Optic versus TNC, as well as VG Gaming versus Newbie. But we're here for the upper bracket. That's where it counts. We got Liquid versus Secret, as well as VP versus LGD, who, by the way, are also top 4 of DPC. We're also top of their group. They're just, you know, it's textbook. They're the best 4 teams, and they're in the top 6. Top 6 is where they're right now. That is the semifinals of the upper bracket. So they have already guaranteed $90,000. If they win here today, they get $150,000 guaranteed. And I could talk about DPC points, but these teams don't really care. Sure, you know, VP is happy that they're on top of the season and there's nobody that can knock them off their throne anymore, but it is still, you know, doesn't matter which for seeding. For TI, you just want to be in that top 8, and they are, so they're happy there. I think it's time for us to get started with our first matchup, which is Liquid versus Secret.
The final stop on a successful campaign, this team has defended their honor. They've won DPC Minors, they've won TI, and they only need one more title to complete their trophy cabinet, a Majors title. Runners-up in Moscow, Shanghai, and Manila, the moment to make history has arrived. Placing their faith in a new carry and a veteran playing a new position. This European team took a risk this season, but it paid off. Winners of 2 minors and the Dream League Major, their spot at TI8 is already secure. However, results have dipped lately, and it's time to get back on track.
What a treat, this series. Liquid versus Secret. There's so much history between these two teams. I mean, most recent, you're going to have Secret knocking Liquid out of the Dream League Minor. The season before that, in terms of Dream League, Secret won 3-0 in the grand finals of the Major. And then Liquid knocked out Secret in Katowice, and then this season, that's only like over the last couple of months, and then you got Puppy versus Kuroki, former teammates, at some point Nemesis, now rivals and competitive. We don't know actually what's going on there behind the scenes, but it's an exciting story, Capitalist. This is an exciting matchup.
It absolutely is. I think both of these teams are trying to, like, Secret came out of this DPC season and they just looked really strong. I think a lot of people behind the scenes were referring to them as kind of the #1 team at the time. They looked even stronger than Liquid at times, while Liquid themselves, obviously winning TI, they should be kind of the de facto, okay, they're #1 team in the world, but they just haven't kept up that strength. I think that they have taken a little bit of a break. I was talking to GH the other morning, and I asked him to judge his own strength, and he says, you know, we're getting back into it. It feels a lot better than it was just like 2-3 weeks ago. He says we can recover very quickly once we start playing some of these games, but he says he still only feels like they're at about 60%. And they're top 4 in the upper bracket.
Not bad.
Yeah.
Pretty humble, I guess.
60%.
That is a pretty good result for a team that is 60%. I would wonder what Secret would say they are. How would you rate Secret right now?
I'd probably say they're a little bit better than that because they've looked pretty weak if we go back a few weeks or months. But now they're looking good again. And this tournament, they've looked pretty solid as well. So I think it's going to be a good matchup for sure. I'm very interested in seeing Miracle against Evil Miracle, Ace, of course. And we always
Miracle
know
Knight.
that the evil version is always a little bit more powerful.
Yes, but we always know also that normally good prevails.
We'll see this tournament and this matchup.
All right. I mean, it's also it's white
That's
versus
only
black.
true for movies. So in real life,
It's
usually
true, right?
evil wins.
It's white versus black as well. We got light versus dark. Sunspan,
Man.
what are you most excited for this matchup?
I don't know. I just think both of these teams, obviously, like you were talking about, they've already made it to TI, so they don't have anything to prove to the outside. I think they have stuff to prove for themselves, though, because like you guys talked about, Secret kind of peaked early in the season. Liquid has yet to win a major, which is shocking, and there's a lot of work to be done still.
There really is, especially if they consider themselves 60%, which, by the way, I mean, is very modest. So I'm going to take
Is
that
that
with a pinch of
modest?
salt.
That could be considered
60%.
cocky. That could be cocky if you really think about it. Like,
Yeah.
oh, we're way better than this. Like, we're already destroying
But
people, but we're way better than
But
this.
Sure.
GH though.
Yeah, GH, I
That's true.
swear to God, like every single one of these players that you talk to at a higher level, like in order to just be this good, you do have to have some level of ego and arrogance. Like even some of the nicer guys out there, you know somewhere deep down there, they're going like,
I'm the best.
I'm better than these people, right? But
the king.
GH is the one, like we must protect GH at all costs. Like that guy is just so lovely and pure and innocent. I love him.
Yeah, so it was a modest.
GH, yes. Anybody else, no.
All
Yeah.
right. So for featured matchup for this for in-game performance, we have chosen the 4 positions. So we are going to compare GH to Yapsor. Cap, you were the first one to instantly say this is the matchup. This is where the game is being played.
Yeah, I think that these two supports are some of the best 4 positions in the world. Yapsor certainly showed off a lot of strength early on in the season, back when the 4 position was a lot more roaming focused. GH obviously had that incredible performance at TI, where he was probably one of the most valuable players right behind maybe Mind Control at that tournament. I think Yapsor, I was actually joking with him before one of his games, and I told him that he needed to not feed, otherwise I was going to flame him in game and say that he was a 4 position who could only play roamers and he couldn't actually play laners. And he laughed and he said, you know, it's all the same shit, right? You just play this Skywrath mage and you just run out into lanes and you just, make people's life hell, and that's your job. And that's what they've been doing with Secret. They've been drafting Skywrath mage over and over again and just running into lanes.
They have got a very different drafting style, Bulldog, than any other team here at the moment.
Team Secret?
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. They've had picking up the Arc Warden, which we've not seen at all, by Ace. That's one of his advantages. He plays pretty much every hero, and also they picked up a Drow. So we've definitely seen some different heroes from them. So it's really hard to predict. It's also with the puppy, right? It's hard to outdraft him. You don't know what he's going to pick. One game he might pick Wraith King Jungle. You never know about puppies. So
Well, they're not going to pick Carry Centaur. It's garbage. I
yeah,
refuse
Ace
to believe
was the guy who made it work, wasn't it?
Yeah,
in his Danish team.
Yeah. I don't think it's going to work now, though.
No, because they nerfed it. So
I think both of these teams are trying to put a strong focus on the laning phase. If you just look at the way that Team Secret's drafting, with the fact that they keep on drafting Skywrath Mage and then pairing up with like Beastmaster or Doom, they want to be able to present a strong aggro dual lane. They want to be able to win their matchups. If you look at some of like the 5 positions or some of the bans they're dealing with, it's all about trying to take away some of the best laners away from the enemy teams. So,
Yeah.
And I think Liquid has kind of done a similar thing in their opening series of the playoffs against TNC. That first game, they had a lineup that looked a little weird, and I remember the panel all went for TNC just because it looked like a good team fight lineup, and I don't blame them for that. But it was Liquid who just had like such strong laning phase that when you're up by that much and 10 minutes, it's hard to lose the game, and I think that's what the top teams are taking from Virtus Pro. They're just kind of learning from VP and how they're winning games and going, well, if that's the best team in the world right now, we should probably emulate some of that.
Yeah, we have got a draft, by the way, for the first game of the series. So it is going to be very interesting. It is Puppy versus Kuroki. I mean, as we mentioned, I mean, friends, frenemies, competitors, you name it. But one thing that they are also is both very, very good drafters. So this in itself is like a battle of its own. It
Yeah.
is. It is going to
5
be.
seconds
It's going to be mind
remaining.
games upon mind games, and it's going to be very interesting.
Battle of will and strategy, I would say,
Yes.
between these two captains.
Oh,
I like
yeah.
your little surprise, Suns fan.
What's that?
The draft is coming. Oh,
Oh,
I didn't know there was going to be a
Oh.
draft
Is there going to
involved.
be a game?
I didn't know they televised the draft. Ooh.
And you're going to have to cover it.
Oh no.
But it is going to be. It's going to be very exciting. Of course, both captains do have a really good coach behind them. I feel like I need to mention that we got Heen on the side of Liquid as well as Sunby on the side of Secret. So it's those are we don't really talk about them an awful lot, but they're there and they are vital for the team's success.
You wouldn't think they would need it because you have Kuroki and Puppy, but hey, some help wouldn't be too bad, I guess. And you know, Puppy, what else could you get help from? You don't want help from
10
Yapster. I'm pretty sure he's just.
Pick me
Yeah,
Rubik.
really.
Pick me Rubik, please.
Yeah, pretty much.
I mean,
Well,
I don't
5
mind
seconds
seeing him on
remaining.
Rubik, to be
Yeah,
fair.
agreed.
When I've talked to these captains, the coaches rather, I've talked to them about like, what do you do when you're a worse player and you're probably worse strategically than the captain? Like, what are you supposed to be doing as a coach? And he said sometimes it's better just to have a person who has an outside perspective, who is an inside of the game, and naturally some biases form up. And it's also a person who can kind of back up the captain's vision of what he wants out of this strategy and be able to go to individually each one of the players as sort of a more objective voice to get them on the same page.
You know, it's very easy to come up with a drafting plan before the series, but I guess when you are actually drafting, you're going to
10
be so in the
seconds
zone that you
remaining.
might just forget things that you decided beforehand, and it's nice to have a person who's like, wait a second,
5
remember what you
seconds
said.
remaining.
This is what they were going to do, and then just to keep you on track, basically.
I personally
Team
really like the type
Liquid's
of
turn to pick.
the life coach type, like Blitz, where you massage the egos, you make sure people don't fight. Like, oh, he doesn't hate you, and then
Yeah, I
They
mean,
That
really
is
do hate
such
each
a big
other.
part, actually, I think.
it was actually particularly important, I think, for Liquid for when they had Fada, because Fada is such a sort of obstinate personality. He's quite stubborn. He has his very strong ideas about Dota. To be able to get him on the same
10
page
seconds
as
remaining.
what the captain wants out of the team, and I'm not sure if
5
Sunby does
seconds
that
remaining.
for Team Secret as well.
Not sure if you need that against Puppy though, because you don't want to go against Puppy. From what we've heard.
Turn to pick.
Puppy is just a large human being.
Yeah.
Did you ever have a coach, Bulldog, when Alliance was,
Uh,
we were in Alliance?
Yeah, we did. We had a.
You had Seb at some point? as
Yeah,
well?
and it was really bad. Except we lost everything. We also we had Synderen as well, and at the major we lost that as well.
yeah, Porson.
All right.
So not too successful. I'm gonna
No.
blame the coaches there.
Sure.
10
But we see
seconds
Liquid banning
remaining.
pretty much 3 Yapster heroes here, recognizing that
5
Yapster is one of the
seconds
key
remaining.
players in Secret, which I kind of agree with. He kind of just
Team
takes over a
Secret's
game sometimes
turn
as a
to
position
pick.
4.
So I thought Liquid was actually going to first pick up the Leshrac because they actually were banning away both Sky, who is probably the better counterpart to the really obnoxious 4-position harassers, and then the Rubik, who I think is one of the better counterpicks to the Leshrac. So it looks to me like it's a pretty good Leshrac game, and Liquid instead opted for the
10
Naga Siren.
seconds remaining.
Yeah, Naga is just such a stable here right now. It's so
5
easy to play around, and
seconds
it's also one of those heroes that when you play deep in a tournament, it's
Team Liquid.
you always feel confident with this hero. It's a very safe hero.
Oh.
We've seen Lone Druid banned pretty much all the time against Secret, first 3, and for good reason. Ace plays it really well, and they take the opportunity and just picks it up. First 2, I remember this is something we used to do in Alliance as well. Good times. That was about 10 years ago though, but it did happen.
10 seconds
Yeah, Liquid,
remaining.
I think there's no doubt that they have a plan in mind
5
against this Lone
seconds
Druid. I think
remaining.
Naga Siren is already kind of acceptable just because you can get on top of the Lone Druid, you can net down the bear
Liquid's turn
in
to
those
bat.
opportunities just to pick up that free 300 gold bounty. And they're going to go for Mirana Naga Siren duo, which also Mirana can match up in the mid lane okay against both of these heroes in the Leshrac as well as the Lone Druid because
This
you
is,
have that escape mechanism.
The first time they've picked Morana this tournament.
We've been seeing a lot from the Chinese teams.
10
They've been pretty
seconds
successful, and
remaining.
then I feel like TNC and a couple others picked it, and they just got destroyed. They could
5
not.
seconds
Yeah.
They couldn't even hit
remaining.
the basic combos with the sleep into arrow.
That's pretty bad.
It wasn't a great
Team
performance. Let's just say
Secret's
that.
turn
We've been
to
talking
bat.
about a possible like 3-position Mirana or something like that, some sort of aggro dual lanes with Mirana, and I think maybe Liquid could be the team that runs that. just because I'm not sure if you want to be picking Miracle's hero this early. And
Could it be GH Mirana? Because we know Kuroki plays the Naga.
Yeah, that's true.
10 seconds remaining.
They had that one game where they picked Naga Siren, and GH said he was supposed to be playing it,
5
and
seconds
then
remaining.
it ended up being a good Nyx game. And so they switched it over, and Kuro played the
Team
Naga Siren, and
Liquid's
he
turn to
played
ban.
the Nyx. So we could do that. I'm not sure, like, it feels like if this is the duo supports, though, it feels very one-dimensional in that regard. Great killing duo, hard to be able to get out of it, but it does leave you without, like, a ton of, you know, aggro dual lane pressure. It doesn't give you, like, a massive amount of control.
10 seconds.
It could be pretty
remaining.
scary though, because you have the 3 cores left then, and you can set up
5
any hero that
seconds
combos well with
remaining.
Mirana. You can just rotate Naga eventually to that lane as well. Just put a strong safe lane hero, and all of a sudden you hit one arrow and you get a kill, and could be pretty devastating.
It's good versus Leshrac, but bad versus Lone Druid, right? Because
Yeah.
Lone Druid, like, he has a bear that can easily get out of that, block the arrow for him.
Team
Yeah, for sure.
Secrets
You have the
turn to
leap,
ban.
however, if later on for the entangle, but still, when you entangle, he can't move. And Mirana is one of those heroes that's pretty squishy usually. So if you do get an entangle, he usually dies.
How do you guys like Bane for Puppy?
I think Bane is pretty strong. He really hurts the Mirana's right-click damage, and it's probably one of the
10
better
seconds remaining.
laning supports right now, especially now with Jakiro ban.
5
Whenever-
seconds remaining.
Sorry, go
Sorry,
ahead.
it's one of the most picked and highest win percentage heroes with 62% win rate, but it's not picked out by Secret.
Yeah, they do like a lot of Ogre, which is pretty good with Lone Druid. That extra move speed and attack speed, which usually Ace plays the ranged Lone Druid, which is really good for the Bloodlust right there. It's a hero that can just smash in the Naga as well in the laning phase. One of the few heroes that have equal armor as Naga pretty much.
So they take away the axe because they're afraid of the Leshrac axe aggro dual lane, and whatever Team Secret do pick up the Leshrac or the Skywrath Mage and have that threat on the board, they usually take away some of the best fight positions that secure the safe lane. And those are usually Jakiro, Warlock. I think Bane's pretty good as well in that regard. This also could just as easily be Matumba Man's safe lane,
Turn to pick.
Mirana. Like, if you are presented with some sort of like Lesh Doom or something like that, you want to probably have a ranged core in that bottom lane. So a lot of options from Liquid.
Yeah, and Secret, they could pick still Disruptors in the pool. They want to go with that. Pretty good against Mirana.
10 seconds remaining.
Good versus the Naga Siren as well.
Yeah. You also got
5 seconds
Fada
remaining.
Brewmaster is pretty good with the team fight on Lone Druid, because usually the ideal Lone Druid game is that you win at 20 to 30 minutes, and Brewmaster is a hero that has a lot of impact during that time.
I'm quite surprised that Liquid actually didn't ban away the Sand King, just because Sand King Lesh is really strong, and Sand King can operate as a support in the
Team
safe lane
Liquid's
for
turn to
his
pick.
Lone Druid.
Ooh.
Monkey so early, not a huge fan of that. If you don't get a good laning phase with this hero, doesn't feel like the best hero, honestly.
And they played it once when they were up against VGJ Storm. It was a mid Monkey King for mid one.
Yeah, they gave away the Beastmaster to VGJ Storm
10 seconds remaining.
because they had Doom versus Beast, and they would also have this Monkey King. I remember they just had
5
really strong
seconds
lanes
remaining.
as a result. But here, we don't know what Liquid's lanes are. And so it feels like they're putting this piece a bit early.
Can anyone get away with Monkey King position 4 anymore? Because those talents are pretty dirty with the leaping.
They nerfed it so hard, though.
Yeah. Jingo Mastery is really bad at level 1 now, so
Yeah.
you're not a threat when you just go. Like it used to be, you just run at heroes and they're like, oh god, Jingo Mastery, it's scary, and they have to run away. But now you can actually just turn in and fight the Monkey King,
The Monkey-
especially as support.
The Monkey King is pretty good, kind of a block pick, because both of the teams like Ember here, and Ember is one of the heroes that's really good against Lone Druid.
Yeah, that's-
And now you can't really pick an Ember into the Monkey, because that lane is pretty nasty.
Yeah, that's true. You probably want a bit more initiation because you're facing up against a Lone Druid. We did see a DK actually beat Monkey King mid yesterday, and it's also a nice initiator onto Lone Druid. And then my other suggestion would have been Death Prophet because of the Naga Siren pairing. It just protects the Naga Siren and also sets her up to be able to get good exorcism team fights in.
Yeah, I also would have suggested it. I was just about to suggest Brewmaster as well.
Sure.
Of course.
Got it.
Got
Well
them all.
done, Bulldog. So what are you going to suggest for Liquid's fourth?
Sounds fun, you know.
Great question, boy.
So with this, we kind of know that Matumaman is not playing the Mirana, right? Because he normally plays the Death Prophet. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we're back to
So we're back to Mind Control
Yeah, Mind
or
Control.
Miracle. Mirana.
Probably not Miracle.
You
I
don't think so?
hoping not.
No,
5
you don't want to show
seconds
Miracle so
remaining.
early. And I know that Liquid, I played him like twice in the Battle Cup. And I go for the Lone Druid, they never ban it, and they always just destroy me. Still, they just love playing against Lone Druid, so they picked the DP here now, which is good against Lone Druid. So they're probably definitely sure now that it's going to go range for him.
What else did they pick to beat you?
They usually go like Lifestealer.
Because do they win because you play Lone Druid, or do they just win regardless?
I play with some of my subs, you know,
Of course.
Flames.
and
So
with
their
Loda,
fault.
so.
Oh, yeah, of course.
There you
The
go.
worst of all.
Nail in the coffin.
Is there any way
there.
Slark could be a 5th pick for Liquid this game?
Yeah.
It's not great against Lesh, though, right?
It's okay versus Monkey King, bad versus Lesh, but you've already seen.
Slug is good against Lone Druid.
Yeah, you're good versus like all three cores, and you already know what those cores are. It's really hard for Secret to make this a core Lesh all of a sudden because it would be support Monkey King.
So we now got a Kuroki Undying. GH is playing the Naga Siren, so Mind Control or Miracle. Probably Mind Control then is playing the Mirana.
10 seconds remaining.
Just waiting for Miracle's hero, and unfortunately for Liquid, they do not
seconds
have last
remaining.
pick. So they gotta choose something based on what Secret's gonna ban. Probably. What should they ban? What heroes would you like to see Miracle on? He's played a lot of different heroes this tournament,
Yeah,
to be
that's
fair.
kind of the problem. He plays
Yeah,
everybody,
he
right?
plays everything.
And any role, also, that's the problem.
Like,
Sark is okay.
Is Jug just garbage now? that hero?
Morse okay.
he's played Juggernaut this
Yeah, I know he
tournament.
plays a lot of Jug, but
It's not very
is
good
it
against
good?
Lone Druid, though,
Yeah.
because you just soak up all the slashes. And Brew as well. It's pretty good against them.
TA, Tinker, Shadowfiend, PA, Ember. Those are the other heroes he's played this
Team
tournament.
Liquids.
You kind of want to have
A lot
a
of
hero that
different
can lane
ones.
against
Ooh.
Monkey King as well.
Team Liquids.
I'm gonna go
Turn
Slark.
to pick. Secrets. Turn to pick.
It's Alina,
Lena.
and it's a Brood
Lena
ban.
versus Lone Druid and Monkey King. Yeah.
It's good. We've
That's
seen
very strong.
both Matumaman and Miracle played. Usually it's Matumaman, but since you have a DP, you want to pick the carry and the winning condition on Miracle because he's better than Matumaman. No offense, Matumaman. Let's just be honest here.
You can say that
10
about pretty much
seconds
anybody, though.
remaining.
So in some crazy world that they did do Monkey King support, they could do like
Oh,
TA or.
Wowee.
All right.
This
Arc
lineup
Ward.
is, wow.
So it's support Monkey King and Lesh.
I got what I wanted, guys.
You did.
Wow.
Position 4, Yapzor, Monkey King. Oh, man.
That's a puke.
He's going to show how powerful it is. Coming from the trees. Don't you do like 700 damage after you get the talents?
Yeah, but it's like
If
level
you can get
15
that,
or
yeah.
something.
If
yeah.
You gotta get
But-
the levels.
Death Prophet ghosts go through the bubble, which is a big advantage. You're also like a pretty fast hero that likes to be able to get on top. Lena is also
The
a
Arc
problem
Warden
for Arc
bubble,
Warden.
by the way. Just
Yeah. Not just
Bubble.
random bubbles.
random bubbles appearing. Oh wow! Look at this. I did not think that like Twitter predictions. I'm not sure if you're right, you guys. It surely is a much more even matchup than that,
Yes.
right?
Well, this was before the draft, right?
Sure.
Yeah, there's no way I would say it's like 55-45. Probably Liquid
Yeah.
taking the advantage.
You would go for Liquid in this one. I'm
Not
gonna
for
ask
this
you.
draft. This one, I don't know. Arc Warden is such a weird hero. I never know how to predict him because you give him like 15 minutes of free farm, get good levels, you don't harass him. He's just going to take over the game. He's the most annoying hero in the entire game.
So you're going for Secret.
No, Liquid.
I think Liquid do have the Suns fan with the anti-analysis here.
Thank you.
I think Liquid actually does have the answers to Arc Warden. I think they're okay answers. They're not completely countered. And I also am not convinced by Monkey King support. I think Liquid should be able to win the lanes.
I'm going to go with Secret because
Lone Druid.
Lone Druid is one reason, but also because I don't see Liquid's winning condition being that easy. Miracle on Lena, I don't know. I'm a little bit worried about that.
All right. Well, you know what I'm not worried about? I'm not worried about not being entertained, because I know I will be entertained. I'll be entertained by the teams and also by Trent and Zayori, who are your commentary duo.
Thank you so much, Shiver. The upper bracket today, Liquid on Secret. We're excited here at the casting desk. Trent, I'm curious how you're feeling about this Arc Warden pick.
Arc Warden, support Monkey King. I'm looking forward to it. Arc Warden is a hero that, frankly, not enough teams experimenting with, not enough teams playing. So always excited to watch it go. You know, we'll start to learn more and more about the hero as more teams go for it. But in terms of things we do know, we know the hero likes a little bit of space. Doesn't like to be harassed too much early on. And look at these heroes on the side of Liquid, though. You got Undying. You got this Death Prophet who wants to knock down some towers. And you got this Mirana. I mean, Mind Control playing in the offlane, kind of trying to make some moves happen. We saw that game from RML yesterday. That was unbelievable.
We'll see a little skirmish for this top rune already. GH runs in deep, and the bounty, who picked it up with Mind Control, grabbed it. It looks like now Ace getting repelled as a first blood comes elsewhere down bottom. Matumba Man falls to the wrath of mid one.
And Puppy then goes down for the second blow.
And maybe Ace as well. They're going to have another Riptide in a couple seconds. This is a pretty deep chase. They are going to have to let the Druid go. So 1 for 1. That first blood does come out in favor of Secret.
I like the YOLO arrow there as well from Mind Control at the end. Does
Yeah.
not find the lone Druid. He did, in fact, go all the way back home.
So let's take a look at these lanes here. Mid one versus Miracle. Mid, Lina on Arc Warden. So far, a pretty good start for Miracle. Let's check at the side lanes here. Yapsor supporting Fada on that Beastmaster, who's getting zoned out pretty hard. Kuro unrelenting with this undying pressure. Now in the top lane, we'll see a TP come back from Ace as he rejoins Puppy against this Naga and Potom duo.
Yeah, so a little bit of harass from the Naga Siren, a little bit of harass from Mirana, and really all they have to fire back with is this Leshrac. Going to be pretty irritating, I would say. Orb of Venom has not been picked up from either of the Liquid heroes, though, so that is one thing that's going Secret's way, is Mind Control just hopping forward there.
Yep.
I like how he's not even wasting the arrow. Just, it's so unlikely with the bear, right? Because if you don't hit the bear, he's just going to recall it and end up blocking it once he gets the levels there. But
Still putting a lot of pressure on this lone Druid, though. Ace consistently at low HP. No salve, just a couple of tangos. He's going to have to chew through those pretty quick.
yeah, for now, still very dangerous until he actually gets recall, I suppose. Just stuck under the tower. Not a whole lot of region. I mean, he already ran back home to the fountain. Now he only has 3 tangos.
Yeah, not an ideal start there for sure. So mid lane, oh, back up top.
Yeah, net
Stun on the
arrow.
Puppy, almost a kill. They're going to need one more, but not quite there. Instead, the turn on to Mind Control, also going to fall short. Puppy throws out a lightning to slow down GH, but Mind Control commits for it. He jumps into the tower. Of course, it will cost him his life, but he does get the kill. Hands one over to Ace. Yeah, a little surprised to see that YOLO play.
I guess you're running low HP, man. I get the kill.
Yeah, I'd be a little wary just handing a kill over to the lone Druid like that, going 1 for 1, but Mirana does get the kill first, so finds some experience and punishes the Lesh all the more.
Yeah, we have not been in that bottom lane, though, and kind of the question mark here, the Monkey King will get a little bit of help with that haste rune. However, he's still stuck at level 1, and that means he only has the tree dance, just not having a huge impact when that's the only thing you have available.
Yeah, boots first, no Orb of Venom or anything like that.
He can still creep waves, though. That is definitely one thing this hero will be good at.
Yeah, this is an oddly aggro tree here as Yapsor grabs the lane. Meanwhile, back in the lane itself, Fada getting repelled under his own tower. What do you think about the support Monkey King in general? We've talked about it a lot off camera, and we were wondering if a team would actually play it, and here we are. Do you have faith?
It's just tough, because like not only was he nerfed in terms of like the skills and everything, the Jingu, but the talents, you know, they don't really shape up all that well. The poor man's shield got removed. Like, talents are great once you get there, but when you're playing the support role, you're not really expecting to hit 15 that early, or even 10 that early. So it's tough. I can't say I have a whole lot of faith, but the team fight aspect is there. I think when the Naga Siren's picked up so early, it is nice to have something that kind of deters those combinations from coming out during the song, as long as you already have the Wukong's command out.
Yeah, absolutely. Checking in on the mid lane here. Seems to be a pretty even spread. Arc Warden winning the deny battle right now. Lina leading in raw last hits, but pretty even outside of the
Mind
XP.
Control's getting low up top there, but then they turn it around.
Now they're going to go in on to Puppy, and they'll go 1 for 1 again, but Puppy gets the kill first, so finding the experience there. Now GH on the run as Ace tries to chase him down, but I think unlikely to find a kill here as GH grabs a couple of extra last hits. Another 1-for-1.
Yeah, kind of feeling like one of those games where you're going to have your 3 and your 4 relatively close on the side of Liquid, which works out because your other 5 roll is just an Undying. And Kuro will just be looking to feed some tombstones in the mid game.
Yep. Mid lane here, the Monkey King has hit level 2, so we've got a Primal Spring to work with. Don't know how easy of a kill this is. It is a level 5 Arc Warden, 3 points in Flux, so they certainly do have some damage. Yeah. Miracle also pretty low on mana, but a couple of mangoes. There's the Flux, the Boundless Strike. Now the Primal Spring in. They need a few more. It's a little bit close, but Arc Warden's got the damage, and mid one secures the kill.
Yeah, that movement speed slow. It adds up damage per second all the way to 45 at level 3 as well. And yeah, Mind Control. Only level 4 on the Bear, so no risk of the root quite yet, and that will save him.
Still rough for the Mirana here. Fighting 15 last hits, trading evenly with the lone Druid, but now Ace is the one taking some damage. Leap across from Mind Control, gets the second Storm, finds the kill on Ace, and they get the Bounty Rune. Nicely done on that high prize target.
That was some nice micro coming up from Ace too. The way he's able to use the Bear to kind of like block the arrow, but still goes down.
Now mid one taking some damage, but YapzOr's made the rotation. It's only a level 5 Lina. She gets punished once more. YapzOr takes him down.
5-4, just relatively even game all around. But the key thing for Secret, 2-0-1 already on the Arc Ward. I think they'll be happy with that. Lone Druid, I mean, talk about Arc Ward being a hero that kind of needs a little bit of space. Very similar for Ace in this game. Discussions about what the build will be. Will he go for the ranged bear? Just because it's up against that Death Province, she's just able to punish so hard with the Siphon. Have to see where he heads with that. For now, he just has no bear.
It's an interesting question, though. Up top, and snare right into an arrow. They're going to find another one on Puppey, it looks like. They even force a TP reaction out of YapzOr. But Mind Control as well as GH will split their ways. Looks like the Mirana could be in some trouble as the Primal Ring Spring connects. And they'll finish him off. It's a killing spree ended as Ace gets that one. GH also lingering around. Pretty big punishment from Secret and a very worthy rotation from YapzOr. But now back towards the mid. Looks like Fada's trying to make a movement himself. Well, maybe not.
Yeah, level 4. He's having a hard lane when you're trying to rotate as a Brewmaster at level 4.
Yeah.
Things are certainly not going too well. But that's because he's up against a Death Prophet. So, what do you expect?
And Matumba Man kind of having a free lane down here, already using that first Exorcism pretty much as soon as he hits 6, and why not? Put some pressure onto this tower, force out a Glyph. He's also got the Siege Creep there. Fada with a double damage rune does make his life a little bit easier. Now Matumba Man needs to be careful. Spirit Siphon does pick him back up. This is a great first Exorcism at only the first 6 minutes.
Yeah, but despite having a completely free lane and 8 more last hits, the net worth of Lone Druid, 2940 already.
Yes,
there. Like
it was even
2850
until that dive up top. That was really what tipped the scales.
He had to buy, get some items going here. But yeah, that little missed call there, I think a bit of a mistake from the side of Liquid. Mind Control maybe regretting that.
Okay, Phase Boots coming out for the Lone Druid, so still no Helm of the Dominator queued up. Bottom lane, Fada getting Spirit Siphoned as Kuroki makes the rotation. It's level 3 Undying, but Split Earth comes, still sets it up for Matumba Man. And it'll be another kill on the Brewmaster. Big time Strug City for Fada.
Yeah, and in terms of making space, like you're going to have this ranged Lone Druid, more than likely now with the build he's going. And you need someone in these front lines along with the bear, and that's kind of Fada's job.
Uh-oh, that courier. It was a Monkey King. They're going to go in onto Miracle. He is level 6, but absolutely no options. Just feels so easy for this duo of the Monkey King and the Arc Warden to pick on poor Lina Inverse.
Oh, man. Mid one already heading towards the Midas. Oh, Arc Warden Gaming.
Oh,
what a time.
Looking like a good timing, too. We were talking, there was at least one Arc Warden pick earlier on in this tournament. I remember talking to Bulldog about that Midas timing being so important. Mid one will eat an arrow up top, trying to grab that Illusion Rune. Mind Control comes in, will pick it up. Does some pretty decent damage here. It could, in fact, turn into a kill as Mid one finally gets punished. It's Mind Control that takes the gold.
That's one way to recover your offlane.
Absolutely.
Soul will kill the enemy mid. Puts them well ahead of him, actually. And
yeah, as with most heroes, the longer you delay that Midas, that extends this window where the hero doesn't really want to fight. And Arc Warden, I think, is extra sensitive to that kind of mechanic.
At the same time, we were kind of talking about the support Monkey King. Is he a support? Because he's the second highest net worth on the dark side after he killed Miracle.
I mean, honestly, these rotations have worked out so well. He's starting to transition into what feels like a little bit more of a core. He's got the urn. He's going to have a medallion coming out next. Those right clicks are nothing to scoff at.
Kind of makes you just want to start building core items, maybe, you know?
Yeah. Maybe not the Battle Fury, but still just get some damage based. Up top, Kuro here. Had a smoke, gets broken with Puppey, and then they'll just back out. Nice deep ward, though, from Liquid in that enemy jungle to try to scout out these rotations.
Yeah, we'll have to see if Puppey ends up finding it. But Matu up top, he's kind of lurking around here. He's got the Exorcism, maybe hoping they can find some sort of an arrow play. Okay, we're going to use the low HP of the Mirana to kind of bait this out. Like, okay, maybe he's backing away, but seems to be sniffed out here by Ace. He is way back into the tower. They have not seen Matu in a long time. Now, they're scanning behind the tower, bottom, maybe just trying to see, like, okay, is that where they're at? Like, what's the play here? No, but Ace is just not willing to risk it right now.
There's a good nose on that bear. Suspicious of the rotation, and he will certainly live. Relatively even laning phase, though. About to roll over to the 10th minute. A very small net worth lead for Secret. Their lone druid still topping the charts, but the two big cores of Liquid really not doing too bad themselves. As bounty runes come out, looks like it'll just be a 2 for 2, so still an even spread there.
Looks like actually they kind of snuck the one down bottom with Fada and Yapsaur. So Fada gets 2 as well.
Oh, did he?
Oh, he did.
Oh.
He's looking good. 3 for 1.
You're right. My bad. That's on me.
Well, I mean, there wasn't an Invis rune, so you know, they got one thing going for them. See if they can actually make a play happen as GH is lurking with it.
Still some duration, but oh, they finish off the trees. Great use of the tombstone from Kuroki, and anytime you find the Monkey King like that, pretty much a freebie. That'll be the end of the killing spree for Yapsaur.
We're having some discussions about what support was left in terms of like the Monkey King counters, and I was thinking about the Wind Ranger maybe possibility, but and the Chikiro had already been banned out for trying to burn down the trees with the Macro Pyre. Tombstone, although it's on a long cooldown, when you find those nice moments, completely worth it.
Oh, yeah.
And when he's a streak like that going too, you're very happy to get that going for yourself as an Undying.
Well, a little bit of defense from Secret, though. This Tier 1 tower won't go down without a fight. There's the Bruce split right onto Matumba Man. He's already used the Exorcism, but the Arc Warden's here. It's just too much damage. They can't save the DP. Kuro caught inside of the Cyclone. They're going to try to chase him down now. Puppey a little bit low on mana on the Lesh, but they've got plenty of ways to lock him down, and they'll make it a 2 for tower defended. Now denied.
A 5-year rotation.
Yep, GH went in for the tower, and it does end up getting denied. Great use of the bubble.
GH and Mind Controller just going for the real YOLO plays this game.
I stuttered for a second. I was like, is that really GH right there, just running in for the tower? That's pretty much a certain death, and indeed it was. Makes it 3 for Secret.
They have so much chase, though. Miracle, speaking of which, being chased down. Balance strike and 1.
Big rotation mid. Now mid 1 lays in the damage. It's another kill on the Lina. Big stuff coming out from Secret, and now furthering their lead. Mind Control is pressuring up top all the while, forces out a glyph on that Tier 1. I think Secret have to be happy with that trade. This lone druid now getting a lot of space.
Yeah, all this time I've been talking about this lone druid and this Arc Warden, but on the side of Liquid, Miracle's suffering. This is your anchor player. This is the guy that wins you your game of Dota 2. And Lina, when these heroes, it needs a couple items to really come online. You know, you first want the Yules, then you want the Shadow Blade, and then at that point you just feel like now you're able to actually kill people, but you still want all these items to actually become that big damage dealer.
Yeah, it absolutely feels like just a tough Lina game. You know, this is one of the drawbacks of the hero. She's very much a glass cannon, and with mobile heroes like Monkey King, the long range of Arc Warden, a lot of these deaths, there's not really much Miracle could have done besides just be in a more defensive position. Easier said than done, though, in some of these situations. 4 heroes of Liquid have now rotated mid, and they kill a Tempest double, so that's about it.
Yeah, they have the Exorcism in 30 seconds. If they want to use 4 heroes here to try and force something, that's going to give that space to Miracle in the bottom lane, but they have to be a little bit cautious here.
They do smoke up behind the Death Prophet.
Song and Tombstone.
Yep, kind of baiting with Matumba Man here. They do really want this Tier 1 tower, but Secret again, not going to let it go without a fight. Big damage onto the Death Prophet, but Puppey gets isolated, and he will be the first casualty as they Moonlight Shadow. All 5 of Liquid now making the rendezvous point in the mid. Secret might just sack this tower and take the opportunity to split. Now initiation onto Ace and Snare, Laguna Blade to follow up, but he's got the bubble. He'll survive for now. It's going to be a close one.
GH will get it.
Now the split comes out of Fada. Big team fight for Liquid. GH getting relatively low, still holding on to that Song of the Siren. Now stunned up as they turn back in onto the Tempest double. And the real mid one trying to make it back up to the high ground. Fada's been killed, and mid one getting very low. Matumba Man able to finish him off as Song of the Siren now deployed on the other side. The setup onto Puppey. Liquid cleaning house.
Oh, it's not quite enough damage. And the stick still from GH. He still holds it. This guy's an animal. 8 charges.
This is going to be a full 5-man wipe now. Matumba Man with another Crypt Swarm to secure the kill. They get that tier 1 tower mid. Everything going the way of Liquid. It's a full 5-for-0 exchange here, Trent. A massive net worth swing of 3,000.
Yeah, things were looking so good for Secret. They were kind of all up there, but they went with a play. They executed there hard from Liquid. And the way they just started, they didn't start popping all these ultis at once. You know, they saw the one on the left track. They went for the net, the arrow. Great start. Matu got low, but they earned him back up. Great sustain item. Then he's able to still go into fight with the Exorcism, and they just kind of picked off Secret one by one.
Yeah, you can see the power of Lina not getting initiated on. Instead of being able to catch someone else, follow up with that LSA, get off the Laguna, turn the fight basically into a 4v5 really before it starts. That's what Liquid needs to do. But
Yeah, and that'll give them their first fuels they want onto Matu. As Miracle will still be looking in towards his. And yeah, Mind Control's got that damage.
So how's our lone druid doing? Ace, he went for the Maelstrom first item here, it looks like. Anything on the bear? Nope, actually completely empty inventory. So no HOD, no early Radiance. It's going to be a Mjolnir first item.
Yeah, we are just rocking the ranged bear. Druid doing his thing, hoping to get a little bit of space, trying to get nice and fast.
Well, now the Maelstrom comes out on Mirana, gets delivered by that courier as we see Liquid take a relatively aggressive stance in the mid lane. Secret posturing like they want to wrap around and find some sort of initiation, but the angle not going to present itself, and instead it's mid one that could get rotated on if he doesn't make it back.
Yeah, you could see the circles coming out there from Kuro, just kind of assuming they're inside the Radiant jungle, drawing some arrows, drawing some lines, and he says we should just push mid, push top. I would rather, you know, we're Radiant side. I would rather control this part of the map than this part of the map, because there's nothing down here. It's just empty. Nobody cares. Then there's this big Roche dude. We like him.
Seems like we could see some tower exchanging up top. The tier 2 falling very quickly. Secret actually kind of struggling to take this one down quick. Liquid now rotating a lot of heroes. Fada jumps in. There's the split to follow up the Boundless Strike. Matumba Man having a lot of trouble. Does have the Yules and the ultimate, but might opt to save it here. The bear gets brought down, as does GH. Looks okay for Secret. There's that Yules coming out of the Death Prophet, and they'll bring down Puppey to boot as Mind Control joins this party. Yapsor up on the tree line here, but he gets silenced. He's stunned, and this could just be a dead Monkey King. Now trying to make the retreat. The Tombstone flies. It's 2 down for Secret and 1 for Liquid. Mid one now in a lot of trouble. Yule's Scepter locks him in place. Ace comes back in to try and turn this around, but it won't happen. 3 down for Secret. A triple kill for Mind Control, and they are in hot pursuit.
Yeah, it felt like they looked really strong because of the Blink Dagger on Fada, but maybe not noticing the Yule Scepter there, too.
The split push, that wasn't even the Lina rotating. She stayed top and did huge damage to that tier 3 tower. This is 17 minutes and already down to 400 HP.
Yeah, that's going to be continuing to be chipped away at. And just one Exorcism sitting at that low ground there. Yes, it gets terrifying to siege later on, but of course they know they have a very small window.
Liquid's team fight is just too good. The Undying, incredible in those kind of close quarter situations. He's gone for the very standard 1 point in Decay, maxing out the Tombstone, now going back for the Soul Rip. Undying proving to be a very potent pick in this match.
And they're going to head in towards the pit. They're going to start with the arrow. So they're going for this without the Exorcism. Now they have taken quite a bit of control here, of course.
They do have Song
Sentries
as well.
And
So the get out of jail free card reset as long as GH doesn't get popped.
The old take your time. Plus, I mean, they're fighting with a Bruce split. I don't think they're too concerned.
Now, I do want to mention Fada picked up a Blink Dagger at a really good timing. He's had it for at least 3 or 4 minutes now. And despite having that rough laning phase, still has managed to have a pretty okay impact in these fights. But you compare him to the off-laner on the other side, and yeah, there's a hell of a disparity there.
Yeah, the problem, though, is that like he blinks in, he claps, he gets his ulti off, and it looks like they're going to get something done on the Matu, and Matu just starts siphoning the bear and Yules himself. And when he comes back down, he's like full HP again.
Yeah, it's hard to deal with. It almost feels like Liquid doesn't have a position 3 right now. You know, they're just playing this tri-core lineup, and Mind Control is doing a shitload of damage. Nice deny there from Matumba Man. Another advantage for Liquid. They did finish off that tier 2 in the last exchange and now securing the deny, furthering that net worth lead. Liquid just in a very comfortable position right now. Aegis the Immortal up on the Lina. She does take the Boundless Strike in the top lane. Shadow Blade now queued up to follow her Yule set.
And nearly done, too. Is
guessing on the trees. Hey, you miss all the shots you don't take. If you catch the Monkey King there, that's an absolute free kill.
He's got to be a bit careful, though. He's roaming around here at half HP, and there are reinforcements. But they will be spotted by that range creep.
6K net worth is the favor for Liquid. All 3 of their cores topping the chart.
Miracle's waiting. He might get this. Oh my god. If
That
only
was-
he knew.
That was pretty close.
Yeah.
Playing very aggressive with this Aegis. Seeing some heroes from Secret making the rotation. Almost catches the Monkey King. It's a close call.
This teasing might just work out to killing Miracle here.
Does definitely pull some attention to the top lane. The rest of Liquid all grouped up in their jungle. BKB coming for the Death Prophet. Looks like Kuroki might just be going for some Guardian Greaves there on the Undying. So what's the game plan for Secret to get back into this one, Trent? And they have very greedy heroes. So I think it's just buy time, split around the map.
Hold
the line!
Yeah, that's pretty much it, I think. Just try not to lose that tier 3 for as long as possible so you can keep your shrines.
Yeah.
The vision from Yapsor, try and create pickoffs.
Puppey walks right into Miracle with a Moonlight Shadow, and that's a freebie on the Lesh. Now on the other side, the Arc Warden yules into Arrow. He's dead in the blink of an eye. 2 down for Secret, and now Liquid looking for an objective, probably that tier 2 mid.
Jeez, you can understand why he feels safe. He has the Observer, he has the Sentry. He probably thinks it's an okay area for him to be, but Liquid just roam on in, grab him, and they're going to get this tier 2 with ease, and they can save the exorcism if they want.
Kuroki almost gets the Monkey King again, so close as he finishes off those trees. Ace getting scouted out here by Mind Control. We'll steal some of that farm all the while. Matumba Man mid with the Exorcism just finishes off that tier 2. 1 outer tower remains for Secret as Fata gets soloed down bottom by Miracle. Now up in the base, Matumba Man going high ground. There's the buyback on the Brew. He does get off the split, but Mind Control's already jumped back. Are they going to be able to kill this Mirana here? He's out of leaps. Left behind, but Song of the Siren, it comes out just in the nick of time. Mind Control with 30 HP. The Spirit Panda can't quite get there in time. Kuroki, is he going to be able to survive through this? It doesn't look like it, but Mind Control makes the TP. Monkey King scouted him out just at the last second, but can't stop it. Meanwhile, in the bottom lane, Miracle just pressuring that tier 2 and forces out another glyph.
That Earth Panda just trying desperately through this song to get there, but
He wanted
couldn't
it.
find it. Yeah, kept getting fogged, curved, and then, as you said, TP's out with the
The
taunt.
little panda that could.
Could not.
Yeah, could not, as it worked out. Oh my, brutal for Secret. It just feels like Liquid are ripping them apart. All of these fights that look kind of okay for Secret, you realize, oh, that's because it's a 4v5 and there's someone else splitting around the map.
Yeah.
Oh, right, it's because your Brewmaster had to buy back there. Every step forward, it seems like Liquid is just getting a little bit more.
And all of their team fight is Fata, too. So if they can counter the Brew split with the song like that and no one can follow up, then that's, I mean, what more do you have?
Yeah. Fata's still really struggling to make that item progression. He's got a Vlad's queued up, nothing out of the ordinary there, but Naga is only 500 net worth behind the Brewmaster. I think that's a great microcosm of how this game is shifting. GH already with a Meteor Hammer and an Urn of Shadows. He's a support.
Yeah, his game's been very good. And once that Blink Dagger comes out, I mean, that feels like just the end of it for me, honestly. Unless they get a lot more gold onto this Arc Warden, get him to that terrifying spot. But even then, with the Song and the Blink Dagger, you can just suddenly have all this time to plan it what you want. And there's not going to be early BKBs on the side of the Dire. I mean, that's just not an item that Arc Warden goes for. They're building one because they have the Range Lone Druid, so they can kind of opt into it from Ace. But still, he'll be the only one. If anything, that'll just isolate him.
Yep, and not ideal. Mind Control forward, but kind of baits in some of Secret. Now the Dust gets used as the Moonlight Shadow is deployed. All the ultimates coming up for Liquid. Exorcisms there. Still 45 seconds on Song of the Siren. But Meteor Hammer going to be there to finish off the tower. Mind Control will take it down. BKB now picked up on the Mirana. Also a BKB on Matumba Man's Death Prophet. So 2 bouts of 10-second magic immunity. Pretty scary time.
Miracle's
Liquid
hunting.
can win a fight
He
here.
finds Ace.
They could go high ground. LSA Laguna, it's a dead bear. They'll find Ace and turn him into a trophy.
Yeah, mount him up on the wall. That was brutal.
No buyback available on the Druid either, so they're going to have 40 seconds here.
This feels like it should be a Rax. The only hope is Fata. The Song, though, back in just 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Team fight over.
The Aegis was reclaimed, so that is one thing maybe going the way of Secret, but still a big window. There's the Exorcism. Kuroki in the front lines taking a lot of damage, but it looks like he might survive through this with the Song of the Siren. The disco ball from Lesh isn't quite enough. Now they set it up with a Meteor Hammer, connects on 2, the follow-up LSA. Secret in big trouble as mid one falls and buys back. Puppey goes down shortly after. There's the Wukong's command, all the buybacks coming out. The Brew Split doing very little. There is some backdoor protection, so that'll keep that tower alive a bit longer than planned, but it does end up going down thanks to that exorcism. Still all 5 alive on the side of Liquid, and with the buybacks, Secret are all here.
Yep, you're starting to lose out on the Flesh Golem. Of course, you know the song this time. Just bail out, got what you came for, and focus on retreating, regrouping, and taking shrines.
So still economic damage. Liquid very happy with that for sure. I think that series of stuns actually connected on the Tempest double and the Arc Warden, but in the moment it felt like 2 heroes, Trent.
They're 2 heroes, well, you can see.
Take a look here at the replay. So definitely a good initiation for Liquid. An easy one. Remember, it's a 4v5 here. It looked like a good start onto the Undying, but he's just too damn beefy in these situations.
Yeah, and then the song, like, while they're singing to stop this whole Brewmaster thing, they're just ignoring him. Like, they're going in, as you said, getting the Arc Warden. He buys back, and then mid one, you can see just Mike going to get another bubble up before he even bring the other Arc Warden. So he's playing this thing so well.
Yeah.
For sure, but it's just not enough right now. They are ahead so early, so quickly from Liquid, and it all kind of started with that one fight in the mid at the tier 1.
Mm-hmm.
Ever since then, this game has been all Liquid.
Yeah, and it's felt like a lot of the fights, like you were mentioning, it's not individual misplays from Secret. It's just Liquid have the superior damage, the superior firepower, and with that Undying, they actually have the superior sustain. Up top, the Shrine gets finished off. Puppey dodges the arrow, but now trying to survive. Ace on the other side, soloed by Miracle as Puppey also gets brought down. Uh-oh, Secret now going to have to defend this high ground without a buyback on the Lesh, or the Brewmaster, or the Arc Warden.
Yeah. Since the 14-minute mark, they've had 2 kills from Fada. Killed GH, he killed Kuro. So they've killed the supports twice in the past 11 minutes.
Wow. Yeah, that's brutal. High ground siege, here we go. No tier 3 mid, the barracks are exposed, and they're going to focus on the melee.
Matu's BKB is still 10 seconds, ladies and gentlemen.
Okay.
He almost has another item.
And still 9 seconds on Miracle. So a lot of Magic Immunity go around. The Arc Warden bubbles, helping out a little bit, but remember that Exorcism, an incredible tool to just cut right through it. Now the mid lane's down. They're going to rotate up top and try to get a second set of objectives here. Secret have heroes respawning. They'll at least be able to get the tier 3. It'll be interesting to see how long Liquid hangs around.
Yeah, they're going to try and make a play here. They have the split. This is the only way, and nope. See ya.
Now, Exorcism starting to expire, and they will just head back to safety. Liquid playing very controlled right now, not overstaying their welcome. 16K net worth, now the favor. Smoke from Secret. What are they going to be able to find here? Fadas gets broken. It's a blind blink clap into Brew Split, right onto Kuro, but can they even bring him down? Leap away, they're just going to get the Undying. Secret probably okay with that if they don't lose anymore.
Yeah, on the one hand, you're like, why are you focusing on the Undying? Why don't you go for the other 2? And then you realize, okay, they still have their BKBs up. So
yep.
like, what's, you know, you can't even kill the DP and the Mirana with a jump in like that, so. Yeah.
I mean, you have to go for something there if you're Secret, I think. Yep. At least they get 1 pick off. It's a small sign of life going their way, but when you look at it from the Liquid perspective, it's like, yeah, you can take our Undying. We expected him to die a few times this game. Not a big deal. Roshan also respawning very quickly.
Yeah, they didn't take the fight on the high ground, so didn't have to use the song, which means they can have it for the pit.
Looks like this one will go uncontested, especially with the Brew Split on cooldown. Liquid hanging on to that Naga Siren ultimate. Feels very safe. Low risk Roshan, and they will be rewarded with an Aegis and a Cheese. GH with the safety Song of the Siren, just in case there was some sort of an Aegis snatch to come about. They will put that second life in the hands of Miracle, who's now got a Crystallis, soon to be a Daedalus.
That was a really smart play, too. Because basically, you look at it as like, we burn our BKBs or we burn the song. Because you don't really know if Yapzor is just lurking on some tree and he's going to boundless strike you and then steal the Aegis.
Yeah. And might not be enough to get Secret back in this game, but Liquid just playing very tight, not giving them any opportunity to find those small advantages as they now focus on this bottom shrine.
Yeah, the fact that Matu's BKB has stayed 10 seconds for this long is like the story of this game.
Very representative of how little pressure has actually been on him.
Because they're just playing so crisp and clean of just like, they're not giving that moment for Secret. Like BKB is like your failsafe for like, oh, I'm out of position. That's when you pop this thing. Just not necessary at all.
He's even got a Shiva's Guard now. Like you were saying, his item progression has not slowed down. So much beefier, up to 22 armor. Not an easy target. Arc Warden picks up the Mjolnir, gets his first big item. This is that window where Arc Warden just doesn't feel that strong. He's an incredible laner. We saw how easily they were able to pressure the Lina. Of course, in the late game, he comes back with a furious momentum once he's got 4 or 5 items to his name. But right now, it just doesn't feel like mid one can put on that much pressure. In the team fights, he's just not survivable enough.
Yeah, and he's going to have to head in towards that BKB next. He has decided.
Now, Lone Druid will pick up his BKB now, so Mjolnir BKB, I mean, it's an understandable build for the Druid, but when you look at it, really not that intimidating against these heroes of Liquid.
Liquid just picking a lane here. They already have the tier 3 top, so you'd think that would be the one to go for, so they'll push the wave in mid.
Break that backdoor protection. Arrow flies through. Not going to find anyone, but Exorcism gets deployed. There's no glyph for Secret either. Down for another minute 40. The bubbles, the best they got as Miracle jumps in, pops his BKB, almost brings down Puppey, but blasts Yapzor with the Laguna. Ace has the BKB outside of his own well and still dies. Puppey also gets killed in the tree line. We could be moments from a GG as Clara gets cleaned up. It's not even a team fight as Liquid just run over 4. 30 minutes, 29-15. It is all Liquid all day. A brutal opening match for Team Secret.
Yeah, that is not a matchup that you can really feel that great about. You know, you're like, oh, so what went wrong there, guys? Well, everything? I don't know. I guess the laning phase at the beginning looked good, right?
They destroyed the Lina in the lane. That was like the one thing that really went their way, but what did it transition to? Arc Warden's mid-game is still, hey, I've got a Midas. I'm going to farm for a while now. I've got the Maelstrom. I can continue farming. He was still on brown boots at the end of this game. There wasn't even BOTs up on Arc Warden. No opportunities to split push.
Yeah.
Never an opportunity to really put pressure on and feel like that obnoxious force that Sunsfan was talking about.
And that's kind of like the best Arc Warden games you see, right? You have some sort of a way to make these like global pickoffs happen where you have the boots of travel into someone. Like maybe the Monkey King is kind of how they envisioned it. You're jumping around. He bots on top of him with the level 2 bots or something, or into a nearby creep wave, and you go for the kills.
The Monkey King felt like hit or miss, right? He had a huge impact early on, but once they were sieging high ground, what could the Monkey King really? He feels so pick-off
Am I
focused.
crazy, or did we see a Wukong's command?
I don't think we saw a single Wukong's command.
I don't think so. I mean, at that point, like, you're trying to use all your other skills first, right? Get the levels there. And by the time you have the Echo Saber, maybe it'll do something, but that ultimate makes sense, I think, from a course perspective to try and counter something like the Naga Siren or to try and provide team fight. But when it's the support Monkey King, because it's dependent on items, it's just not that impactful.
Yeah. I really liked the Undying pick this game, and it's not that often we see just the classic Arcane into mech, but perfect build this game. So much sustainability, even that, you know, position 5 was hard to kill.
Yeah, it's just such a team effort from Liquid, and Undying is one of the best heroes for that because he's perfect positioning, always threatening with a tombstone, soul rips from the back lines. Felt like Secret just had no way to play into that.
All right, well, with that said, let's kick it back to the panel and hear their thoughts after that game 1.
Yeah, thank you very much, Trent and Sayori. Great game indeed from Liquid. Unfortunately for Secret, they suffered under that. And they didn't really seem to get their feet off the ground with their draft. Here to talk about the match, we got Sunsfan, Bulldog, and Capitalist. Bulldog, you were the only one believing that Secret could actually do it with this lineup. Why do you think they couldn't?
I think I got a little bit baited by Lone Druid. I have too much love for that hero, honestly. But I think a big problem was the last pick, Arc Warden. It's just way too slow for the lineup, and Liquid just punishes that so hard with Undying, and they have so much sustain and heal. And yeah, basically, Secret's lineup just took way too long to get online.
Yeah, I agree. I think that one of the problems for Secret's lineup was going to be the fact that they have 2 cores that are pretty slow, and they don't really have great lane shove. So, like, Leshrac can kind of do it for you. Arc Warden's going to try and push out the lanes and stuff, but because you're not going like a Radiance build on Lone Druid, and I don't think you should, it just means that you're not going to have a way to keep the pressure off of your objectives. And Liquid, they do have an objective team fighting sort of lineup. They have Exorcism to take down towers, and I also think that their heroes match up pretty well. I think, like, when I saw the Arc Warden, I was thinking to myself, like, Lina's pretty good against that. I think Death Prophet is good at just being able to close the distance, get on top of heroes. And I didn't even think about this one, but Mirana builds naturally into a Mjolnir. So the bubble is not very effective, right? Any evasion versus the lightning isn't going to be nearly as effective. So even that 3rd core is actually quite strong. So it just felt like Secret, they they had less fights that they had to win in order to kind of win the game, but those fights were going to be so difficult.
Yeah.
If Liquid failed a high ground push like 2 times in this game, all of a sudden the game is pretty even, and Secret actually has a chance to go late, where Lone Druid and Arc Warden can probably just persevere and just push it later and later until they're too big to contend with. But
They were so disciplined, though, Liquid,
Yeah.
with their high ground pushes. What do you make of this game, Sunsfan?
Well, you guys talked about how slow that lineup is, and one other thing about the range Lone Druid that is a big detriment is the fact that he's squishier than the melee form. And you saw Miracle blow him up on a couple occasions, and that's a really good matchup for him, especially when you're snowballing like he was this game.
And the laning phase was set up pretty well for Liquid. Yes, Miracle died a lot in the mid lane, and that's because YapzOr kind of had to sit there because of the fact that Lina does match up against the Arc Warden in the mid lane pretty well. You just have this constant harassment of the Dragon Slave, which is annoying, and that in turn, if YapzOr has to be in the mid lane, that leaves Fada alone at bottom. He's naturally just going to get less and less as time goes on. And then the Mirana Naga Siren is, I think Secret had the right idea with the Lone Druid and being able to stop the pressure of that lane. Lone Druid obviously has the bear to be able to block the arrow, but it is just such a threat, and the fact that you can't actually actively beat that lane is going to be a problem. Mind Control just gets good farm out of the lane.
Yeah, and honestly, a lot of this is Miracle, just doing Miracle things. He's, as we say often, one of the best, if not the best player in the world, and he just gets these pickoffs. I think he killed Lone Druid twice or 3 times solo. And, you know, when that happens, how do you win a game?
I love it. I personally am a Lone Druid hater, so I enjoyed watching the Lone Druid die over and over again. I mean, that's why I watch Bulldog's Battle Cup games.
Oh,
you know,
boy.
Oh,
I
right.
like watching Lone Druid
I
lose.
thought the position 4 Monkey King was actually pretty good for the first 5 minutes.
Yeah.
And then it was terrible the rest of the game. That's what it felt like. to
I mean,
me.
you like it viscerally like looks and feels good, right? Because it's like, oh, Monkey King, look at him, he's just smashing this Lina, but Lina just comes back in the lane over and over again, and he does have a natural CS advantage over the Arc Warden, right? So it's like you're kind of like stemming the tide. You're like kind of keeping this Lina from getting out of control, but the truth is she's still going to get the farm necessary out of the lane. So you're basically doing like the bare minimum, but she's still going to come online.
How long do you think Secret would have needed this game in order to be able to do something about the pushes? Like, was Liquid, like they were very methodical in making sure that they backed off every time that they thought the push was going to go bad.
Well, part of it is they had too big of a lead as well.
Yeah,
right.
they had
So
a big
maybe
lead.
like a 5K lead at like 30 minutes would have been acceptable.
Yeah,
Something around there?
I think the lead is actually more important because Liquid's lineup does scale like okay into the late game. Lina can be a pretty terrible she can be quite the terror going into the late game, right? When it comes to damage, she can build an MKB sort of build. Mirana can obviously scale, and it's not like a Death Prophet is bad at all either. And we've seen actually the Naga Siren how good she is late game as well. So I think it's more about the lead, as Hunsfan is pointing out. If Team Secret was at 25 minutes, had a relatively close game still, then they could actually maybe outscale some of these heroes. But Liquid just, they took control of the map, and we're seeing this right now with the combination of the double rune spawn timing at 30 minutes, and then the bounty runes being so important, and then let's not forget the classic that is Roshan. Like, when you control the map and you control these objectives, you're just going to get so far ahead in net worth.
Double bounty or double runes is 40 minutes, isn't it?
I'm not sure. I don't remember.
Yeah,
It was changed at some point, right?
But the Roshan definitely a
Yeah,
very
that's when
important
you have the
factor.
DP there as well. Just make it so easy. So, yeah.
So, Bulldog, I'm going to ask you, who do you want to suggest for MVP? Who do you want to nominate? Up to you.
I guess we're going to just have to go for Miracle, honestly.
Yeah?
It's just always good. Even though he gets ganked twice or something like that, dies, he comes back, gets all these solo picks. How can you not give it to him?
His skill participation is very
I was
low.
about to say, like, I personally would have gone for. I know you're saying Matumba Man isn't as good as a player as Miracle, but I think in this game, he definitely did his job. He was set up more for success for sure. He's matched up against a Lone Druid as a Death Prophet. He had an easy safe lane, but I think he in that position, your Death Prophet is the hero that wins you the game. And Matumba Man did not throw the game.
Can I say something blasphemous? You guys can feel free to disagree. I think
Yes.
Matumba Man is actually more important to Liquid than Miracle is.
I
Because he's like
would
this sacrificial, like, think about from an ego perspective, being a really good player and you're not the flashy guy on the team. You're the one being sacrificed a lot of things. You're playing these really boring heroes that he really hates Venomancer, for example, right? And
Yeah,
Miracle, yeah, he's mechanically amazing, and I'm not saying he's bad by any means, but I
Yeah,
really like Matuma.
there's plenty of people you can take in from a tournament. Or there's only one Miracle. You know, you can put in no-tail. It's fine. Get that sacrificial lamb. Anyone can play it. Even you
No,
can play it in that
that's-
team.
I'm okay with I'm okay with what Suns fan
Me
said. I'm
too, me
absolutely
too.
okay with that because I think last year more so that Matuma Man was more important for Liquid because of the fact that they figured out the set of Matuma Man heroes that were really good at being able to create space, and then you could theoretically, if you had another top, let's say 5 sort of mid laner who could replace Miracle. He wouldn't be on the same level as Miracle, no, but you could still kind of accomplish the same game plan, similar to the way OG tried to swap out in their mids, right? I think that we've
I
seen
was
that several
expecting
times.
way more hate.
Yeah,
My
this is some
goodness.
NA analysis for sure. Miracle is definitely more important than Matuma Man.
I mean, North
There's no
America got
question.
the
You know what?
the prediction right for that game, which was really one-sided, Bulldog. So
Yeah.
We'll let you
Not
guys
sure where
fight
we're
it
going
out
with this.
over the second game, which will be coming up very shortly. We'll just have a quick break before that.
It's something that I can't explain. And I don't wanna play this game. And every time I hear your name, so good, so good, so good. It's something that I can't explain. And I don't wanna play this